Welcome to DefiWalk, where we show you how to make passive income with your crypto. Now, today we're not going to be talking about so much as to how to make passive income, but instead how to protect yourself from a lot of these yield farms that exist. This project here is called InsurAce, and their website is insurace.io. And what they do is they provide insurance for DeFi projects. So if there's any smart contract bugs, rug pulls, or exploits that happen in a DeFi app, then they're going to have your back covered. That way you don't risk losing your funds. So the way to use this app is you just go to the launch app button, you click it. Once you enter the app, you're going to be presented with this dashboard screen, and here you can see an overview of some of your statistics, like the insurance covers you have, any claims you have, and mining and rewards you have from the mining, which I'll be covering in a moment here. And something else to note is that this app currently works with Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. And as far as I can tell, most of the assets are the same. So you might as well just use Binance Smart Chain because the gas fees are significantly cheaper. And they are going to be launching on other blockchain networks like Solana, Heco, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, and pretty much all of the main popular blockchain networks in the future here. So the first thing we're going to cover here is the bridge. And the bridge, the way it works is you can send INSUR, the INSUR token, from BSC to Ethereum or vice versa. And this is pretty much the built-in bridge that lives on their website. I'd suggest just using it on the Binance Smart Chain network if you trust them, and that way you don't have to pay a ridiculous amount in Ethereum gas fees, because you're going to be spending over $100 on each transaction, and I don't know, to me that's kind of ridiculous. But with Binance, you can be spending 25 cents or so per transaction. Now, the next thing we're going to cover is the insurance, and this is the bread and butter of this project. So as you can see here, they do have a wide variety of farms that you can purchase insurance for, and they do have some blue chip projects like Balancer. I mean, this token is listed on Coinbase, Binance, and pretty much all major exchanges. So I trust this app quite a bit, but you can still be exposed to some bugs. And then you have more degen farms like Mushroom, Auto Farm, and they have a big list of farms here like Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap. These seem a little more risky to me. Aave, this seems very trustworthy. It's also like Balancer. They're listed on most major exchanges. But you can see here, they do have a wide variety of projects that you can purchase insurance for. Now, if we scroll back to the top up here, you can also sort by what type of blockchain network you use. So if you're like a Binance Smart Chain person, here's the farms they have: Solana farmer, Polygon farmer, whatever projects you want to use insurance for, you can sort it through here quicker to figure out what's available and what's not available. So the way this actually works, let's say I want to purchase some insurance on the Phantom blockchain. And let's say I want to purchase insurance for Spooky Swap. And you can see that it does cost money to actually buy insurance. And here's the cost to break down. You can see that on average per week, it costs 0.5%. A month, it costs 2.39%. And then, a whole year, it's going to cost you 30%. I mean, that is quite a bit to pay, but if you compare it to how much they're actually paying you out, you're going to make a lot more money, and you're going to be able to actually sleep at night knowing that if Spooky Swap does rug pull or has some sort of smart contract bug, InsurAce is going to cover your back, and you're really not going to lose pretty much anything because of the coverage. So in order to purchase insurance, you just click the select button, and you can see that it adds it to our cart. Let's say you're shopping for a bunch of different insurances. Maybe you want to purchase some for Auto Farm as well. And you can click on this button here once you're ready. And this is the screen where you actually purchase insurance, and it shows you how much it's going to cost. So the way it works is you pick what currency you want coverage for. So I'm just going to do USDC. I feel like it's easier to keep track of what you're getting insurance on. And let's say I wanted to have $10,000 worth of insurance on Spooky Swap and maybe $10,000 on Auto Farm. And then you say how much days do you want insurance for. So let's do 1 month, 30 days, and then let's do 30 days here. And you can see here it's getting a quote, and it's loading, and it gave us a quote. So as you can see here, that the total that it's going to cost us is $308 to purchase insurance for both of these farms for 1 month with $10,000 each. So that's $20,000 total. If I remove Auto Farm, you can see it's going to update, and now it's $236. And the reason it's not cut in half is because auto farm insurance is a lot cheaper because it's a more established farm. As for Spooky Swap, this thing is going to cost more because it's a more higher risk farm. And as an insurance company, you generally want to price more for the risky farms. It's kind of like car insurance. With like sports cars, they generally charge more for sports cars because a lot of young people drive them and crazy drivers. But you know, when you have older cars that older people drive, they're typically not as aggressive. And it's similar with these farms. It's just about managing their risk. And you know, as an insurance company, you also have to be smart about how you price things. And if we look at the cost difference, you can see that auto farm costs 1.2% a month. And then Spooky Swap cost almost double that, 2.4%, 2.39, pretty much 2.4%. Once you do decide you want to purchase insurance for a farm, you just click agree to the terms and then you can unlock it. But I don't have the funds available at the moment. This is $10,000 worth of USDC. So you have to have the funds available to buy insurance. You need like collateral. You actually have to prove that you have the funds. You can't just, you know, buy insurance without having the asset. So keep that in mind. Now, let's say something were to happen, like we were using Spooky Swap and then, you know, there was an exploit and we lost a lot of money. So you'll be covered for up to $10,000 if you were indeed borrowing $10,000 for that 30-day period, and they would cover you and refund you $10,000. And the way you would do that is you would go to the claim section, and then when you do a claim here, you would have to submit a claim. And then the way it works is the community is going to vote to see if your claim is true. I think there's going to be some detective work going on to see that you're not just making things up and there really was an exploit that happened in the Spooky Swap farm. So that's pretty much how these insurances work, and you can sort by the active insurances you have. I currently don't have any insurance active. You can see expired. I guess this is ones you used in the past. And then these are claims. Like I mentioned, you know, if you have a problem, you can file a claim. So the next thing we're going to cover is mining. And this is a cool place where you can actually make some passive income on some coins over here, especially the stable coins. I think the APYs here are paying pretty well. And you can see here, you can actually stake your BNB and earn 62% on it. USD 50%, basically 40 to 60% on some blue chip coins here, stable coins, and of course they have the house token here at 45%. So the way this actually works is you have to lock your crypto up. So let's say I wanted to stake BUSD. I would click select, and then there's going to be an unstaking lock period. So let's say I were to deposit some BUSD in here. I would click the stake button. You know, you insert how much you're adding. Let's say you were to add $1,000 in here. You would say you understand, read the terms here. It does say that there is a lockup period. Make sure you view the details and read this. But basically, in a nutshell, you are going to have an unstaking lockup period. So let's say I deposit $1,000 in here. I'm earning my 50% APY. And then I'm like, okay, I want to get out of here. The way you would do that is you would have to click unstake, and then you would have to wait a month for your funds to be available. So if you need your money liquid, this may not be the best place to stake, but if you have some extra money laying around not being productive and you don't really need it, I think this is a fantastic place to deposit some of your funds that you're okay with locking up for up to a month. And while staking in any of the pools that we have here, you are going to be able to claim your rewards by clicking this claim rewards button, or you can just go to your dashboard, go to mining, and it's going to show where you're mining from here. And they also have a rewards button where you can just harvest your rewards rather than going to the mining pool and just doing it, you know, in this screen where you have to keep zooming in. So I like that they have this beautiful dashboard where you can see everything at once. Very cool feature from InsurAce. And then they have some other screens that you can check out here. These are some claim screens you can have. And then they have data where if you want to see how much insurance is being borrowed on which project and, you know, the mining stats, a lot of that data can be found here. And then the form here, you can talk on their form over here, which takes you to their dedicated forum. And then on here, they have their blog and then their docs. This is pretty important. Their docs you definitely want to read up on this if you are going to be using this app to make sure you know all the details. This video isn't a one-stop shop video. This is kind of an overview of the project, but if you have any questions or like in-depth stuff on how the project works, you may want to read up on their documents, which I'll leave a link to in the description of this video. And while we're on the subject of documents, I do want to talk about their token a little bit. This token was launched in March 2021, so it's still fairly fresh. It's about 5 months old now, and I would say that this token is actually a useful token. It's not one of those degen farm tokens that people dump. This token actually has real value to it because it has a real purpose. It's used for insurance. And I would say this token is heavily undervalued, especially if you compare it to their competitor like Nexus Mutual. You can see that Nexus Mutual, they're pretty much a similar app where they provide insurance to DeFi. I'm not really going to cover this project, but this is one of their bigger competitors. And basically their market cap is 660 million. And you can see that they are ranked at 106. Now, if we go to the INSUR token, we can see that their market cap is 15 million, which is like what, 30-40 times smaller, and they're ranked 792. They both offer very similar services, but you can see that this token is way lower in price. And to me, that's a pretty good selling proposition. It's like, why buy Nexus Mutual, you know, something that's pumped up when you can buy InsurAce? At least from an investment point of view, I think this is going to be a good purchase. And as this app starts to develop more features and gets listed on more exchanges, especially if it gets listed on Western exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, or Crypto.com, we can definitely see some really good price action. I mean, 14 mil market cap, this is pretty much nothing. Like, very little amount of money is put into this project, and you can see that they have so many farms that they cover. They're already on multiple blockchains. They're planning to launch on different blockchains. So from my point of view, I think this is a fantastic token to invest into. And I am going to be purchasing a bag of the INSUR token. And this is not financial advice. This is just kind of my thought process and what I think. I mean, for all we know, this token could go lower in value than it currently is. I mean, if we look at the price history, the old all-time high was $11 and it's sitting at like $1.50. So that's almost like a 10x. I mean, if it hits its old all-time high, 10x, that's really good. And then if it gets even more traction than before, we can be looking at like a 30 to 40x. So in terms of security, this app, I would say, is fairly safe to use for a few reasons. You can see that they have been audited by Slow, Mist, and PeckShield. And if you click on their docs and you go to the security section, you can see that they have some more information on the audits, some of their security solutions, and their processes. And if you want to read up on these audits, you know, you can just click these documents and it's going to download them, and you can read up on the details of these documents and what the auditing companies actually said about this project. And both of these projects, Slow, Mist, and PeckShield, they are reputable companies, and you know, if they're giving this a good score, then I would say from a software and tokenomics perspective, this is a safe app to use. Now, in terms of the people that run this project, are they anonymous shady people? No, they're not. All of this stuff is on their website. If you click the About button here, you can see that they have more information here. And if we scroll down, we can see that they do have their team listed here some way. This guy is the tech lead here. He used to work at IBM and Microsoft with over 10 years of experience. I did a little bit of snooping around on their LinkedIn page. I clicked on the Some Way guy. This is the guy in charge of the tech. He worked at IBM for 8 years. He worked at Microsoft for 2.9 years. So this guy definitely knows his stuff. And then if you look at their CEO on their website, this guy is the CTO. And if we click on his profile, Oliver Zai, we can see that he used to work with this Apex Asia Pacific company. And if we click on this company, you know, it looks like it's a fairly established company. It has 49 employees that work there. So you know that it's a more serious company when you have that amount of employees. And then you have have Dan Thompson. He's the business/marketing guy who's making things happen and, you know, closing a lot of deals over here. And you can see here that they have more team members that are serious, they're professional, and they're pretty much high profile people that you can trust. And if we scroll down a little further, you can see that this project, it was not just like a startup that happened out of nowhere. This project was funded by some reputable investment companies, and you can see here D-Finance Capital, Parify, Alameda Research. I mean, these are all big names, and if they're investing into this project, you know this project is going to be a good project to invest into because there's a lot of companies putting money on the line. And if we scroll down further, we can see that they do have a partnership with Elron, massive company over here, and some very reputable and big name DeFi apps that exist. So after looking at all of these details here, I mean, you can see everything looks solid here. The investors, the partnerships, leadership, roadmap, you know, and if we go to their homepage over here, you can see that they are audited by 2 reputable companies. So overall, this project is looking solid. If you're planning to use the insurance that they offer, definitely a wise and smart idea to not lose your funds. Or if you're planning to just buy the INSUR token as an investment and, you know, hoping that the price will go up, I'm sure the price will go up. I mean, this thing's pretty much at its bottom right now, sitting at $1.40. And like I said, the old all-time high was $10. That's a 10x. And if it gets the traction that Nexus Mutual got, you know, we can definitely see some really nice price action here in the future. Like I said, I'm not telling you to buy this token, but you know, to me, it's looking like a solid pick, and I'm personally going to be investing into this app. So make sure you do your own research on this project and don't just take this YouTube video as your focal point. Just use it as a research piece. So with all that being said, if you are looking for a crypto community to join, we do have a Discord channel where we have some farms available, a list of farms. We have low risk farms, medium risk farms, and then we also have a few channels here where if you have any questions about DeFi, we have, you know, farms that we talk about for every blockchain network that we think is big. We have crypto gaming, just anything crypto related. And it's not a paid group. This is 100% free. We just want to create a community where you can come chill and hang out. And with all that being said, if you like this video and it brought you value, I'd really appreciate it if you left the like. And if you want to stay up to date with how to make passive income with your crypto, be sure to click that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.